Hey guys, welcome to episode 13. We have Dazza back finally.
I'm
And
back, baby.
What a game to come
What a
back to.
game to come back. Yeah.
Yes.
I've been away.
Well-
I've been on holidays. I had a holiday and just the timing of the games hasn't really worked favourable considering that Andrew and I both work day jobs as well. But
Can
I'm
you
back.
believe it?
I'm back. All my three fans, you can hear me talk again. I'm back. All the questions being asked. I'm here. I'm back.
Everyone was the three fans were asking about where's Dazza. That was it, man. That's all I got. I'm like, what is Dazza? Has Dazza quit on you, has he?
No. I've been tied up, and I'm back on board. And what a game to come back on! Yes, what a game!
Because everyone's still blasting me for my negativity in the last couple of weeks. Does it still? Except for Rangers, because I think even someone wrote something on Rangers because I said it wasn't the perfect performance, even though we won 7-1. And I explained why I didn't feel like it still wasn't the perfect performance. But this game, not the perfect performance, but the intensity, but by far the best game. I mean, it's not very hard to be the best game of the season, but who we beat, how we beat them, I think it was certainly the best game of the season. What did you think about it?
100% best game of the season so far. For multiple reasons. One, City. Two, the intensity was back, something that we haven't really had all year, even including that 9-0 Bournemouth win. I mean, yes, that was obviously winning 9-0, and we had that. We're just all over it. But to have that against City, which, to be fair, I mean, I would have picked a loss before this game. I didn't think we were going to come. I didn't think we were going to come out of it with 3 points. That's for sure. But absolutely stoked that we did. And what a game. I've touched on the key points. The disallowed goal, Andy. We just watched the highlights just before. We both agreed that it was a definite foul on Fabinho by Haaland. But Alisson having control of the ball. I mean, not that. Like I said, I don't think it was the controlling of the ball is why the goal was disallowed. It was obviously that foul that led up to it. But yeah, look, let's just touch on that VAR from a neutral perspective. Like, do you think it's like how far back do you take the ball? Like, how far back do you have to it's got to be an immediate lead up to a goal. Like,
it's got to be the last. The referees were a bit shocking, right?
Yeah, there's so many calls. That just like so many Klopp got sent off because of his frustrations, right? But yeah, like how far back do you where do you draw the line? Like,
I think it was fair to bring it. I know it sounds biased, right? But I think it was fair to bring it back to where they did because it was so. It's not like
it was direct lead up though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was
100%.
Yeah,
exactly. Because it's not like we lost the ball, then they got it back, and then they launched.
Yeah, it's not as if we got advantage again, then lost it, and then they scored.
Correct.
Then that wouldn't be disallowed then. But yeah, exactly. So that was pretty much. So that was on that one. So then you had the other talking point of the game, obviously. Salah's goal, which was just, he just turned Cancelo inside out. He just, you could see after the goal went in, he was just livid with himself. He let Salah do that to him. And I guess a lot of talking points is freaking Núñez being so greedy not to just square it to Salah.
We just watched the highlights before this, and I can't believe they didn't show that because
they didn't. I looked at both. I looked at the 3-minute highlights, the 9-minute highlights, and the 24-minute highlights, and they didn't show that bit in all of the highlight clips.
Yeah,
this product is brought to you by Andrew's Liverpool mug.
I can't believe it, man. Because I mean, I was livid. Like I'm surprised I didn't wake up my whole house because I was watching the game and it was about 4:00 when I was watching it, and it was a bit delayed because I get up at 2:30. Mate, square the ball. It was over. It was over, bro. It was done.
Was he feeling the pressure and thinking that he needed to score against City? Like that's what
100%.
It was immaturity. 100%. He should have just squared it. Bang, start 2-0. It would have been like there was 3-on-1. There should have been.
He scored in the last two games. He would have got an assist now. He would have been talked about.
He wasn't playing too bad when he came on. That's what's going to lead on to the next after this, which I won't get ahead of myself. But
we should talk about the first half. But you finish your point though.
Yeah. So I just good thing Klopp had already been sent off at this point, because I think Klopp would have he'd be having words with Nunez in the dressing room after that, 100%. I think.
Oh, for sure. Either way, he's going to watch it.
He's going to get ripped for that. Yeah, and rightly so, to be honest. I mean, you shouldn't, that lacked maturity. Salah used to do that earlier on, but you could. It's been and obviously they had that Salah and Mane frustration there for not last year, the year before.
It was a while ago.
But that got ironed out. That got ironed out, right? And you've seen Salah pass the ball and wasn't as greedy. He'd learn to pass those balls in those areas, But yeah, I think that was just a look. Again, Nunez is young. Don't get me wrong. But
there was one point where Salah could have passed it too. He was, I think it was Elliot that was open. Was it Elliot?
Was that when Salah cut in and tried to bend it, and
there was someone open. There was one time I thought he could have passed it.
And again, like Salah, I'm not. Yeah, you're right. He
does.
He is a hog, but he's also he's peeled back his hogness. You know what I mean? Like he's not full on hog; he's half hog at the moment. But
what did you think of the first half? What was your first? I mean, I thought the first 5 minutes was actually probably the best period for me in the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, City didn't touch the ball; we just moved it around.
Yeah, we were looking good. We were looking, like the Liverpool. We were hoping it would show up on the day, and they not on the day. And we'll just, before kickoff, what Liverpool are going to come out today? Please not be Liverpool against Napoli, because it's going to be a whitewash. But no, I agree. That first 5 minutes, that opening was just it was refreshing, and you had a huge confidence from the kickoff.
Did you feel like? Because what I said, Darren, I think it was the one where we lost to Arsenal, I mentioned, or maybe even Brighton with you. I can't remember when I said we need to change tactics, formation, and personnel. All three need to change. And that game, we changed all three of them. Now, do you feel as though we've changed the way we're playing? I mean, I think we started as like in a 4-4-2 type formation, which is just crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
But then we're moving it around to 4-3-3 when we went forward, 4-4-2, because sometimes you had Harvey Elliott on the right mid and Diego Jota on the left, dropping very deep, like as wide midfielders rather as opposed to
because how many times you see Jota in the defense? Like, and to be fair, like defensively, he was good. He was really good.
He knocked Haaland off the ball once, man.
Yeah,
he's like he's my height, man. He knocked him off the ball.
Oh, no.
Did you feel like we had the intensity, like the normal Liverpool intensity? And if we didn't, did you feel like that was a problem for us in the first half? Or do you think that we're changing in our game slightly?
I think we're changing a little bit. I mean, the tactics, well, the lineup is a good, sign for starters. Even the lineup against Arsenal, where I think and even towards the end when Nunez came on, right? You had, I think it was 4-2-3-1, I think, right? Don't quote me on it. So you got Nunez up front. Salah was playing just behind Nunez, right? And I think,
game?
In the second half. Sorry, in the second half. I know you asked me about the first half, but just to touch on the tactics. I don't know. I couldn't quite. I know it was like, yes, Nunez up front, and you got Salah, Carvalho, and I think, Salah, Carvalho, and then you had Jota, the three behind Nunez. And I feel like I can see us moving forward with that kind of formation, moving a bit forward now, I think. Especially with Nunez in the squad, as he starts to play on a bit more and as he starts to get in, the starting lineup a bit more, I definitely think you're going to, which is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Salah change. He when he was there, like the goal he scored, he was in the middle. He was playing in the middle. When he's playing, I reckon he needs space and he needs time on the ball. And I think he'll unlock. I think you're going to see a lot more from Salah this year. He's been really quiet so far, but I reckon you're going to see a lot more if he plays more of a central role. That maybe just behind Nunez, like playing that one. So Nunez up front and then three behind him. Maybe. I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see a lot of stuff happen. And even Nunez when he was drifting wide there, he did really well. He's quite strong on the ball, Nunez as well. Which is definitely handy as a striker. But that's where that's my thoughts on that. Is yes, the tactics I believe that are changing a bit. He has to things obviously needed to change from the beginning of the season. Like you can't have Salah, and then obviously Luis Diaz injured as well doesn't help. right?
Yeah.
So again, we need to change again because Diaz is not back until after probably the World Cup. I'm pretty sure, or just before, one of the two.
Yeah.
So now we lose that attacking threat down that flank. Yeah, I definitely think that the lineup that you've seen against Arsenal, which it looks like we nearly had 4 strikers up front. I definitely think, I definitely think you're going to see that lineup probably more moving forward. That's my opinion.
I was actually surprised that Klopp had benched Henderson, to be honest. I mean, I've been calling for it for a while, but I know that Klopp has
Right
trusted
decision too. Like
100%.
yeah,
I mean,
like you need to,
yeah.
if you're gonna play, say you're gonna play more strikers up front, or you're gonna have more attacking people, you need Fab and Thiago being the linchpin of that, midfield, so to speak, because they're the ones that they're the ones that are really gonna keep in front of the back line and control and dictate the ball's going wherever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be with that formation. I don't think Hendo would probably do. Look, this is just again talking off the cuff. I mean, I don't know how Hendo would go with that kind of role. Just being one of the only 2 midfielders in there, it's going to require a hell of a lot more running from that midfield position, especially going wide to cover the 2. To cover our wide attackers. That's going to require a bit more cover. So yeah, that's my spin on it. But yeah, you what do you think, man? What do you think tactics wise and whatnot? Do you think things are going to change or things are changing?
I think it's inevitable. They have to change. We just don't have the midfield to put in the 3,
Correct.
The amount of running that, for whatever reason, something had to change. I think it's been good to see Trent have a bit of a. I mean, whether you think he's injured or taking a rest.
I don't know.
I know you've been a very big supporter and defender of him. I have, but I felt like Darren against Arsenal, and I talked about it on another podcast. The overload was obvious that Arsenal was going to push that right hand side and overload that right hand side, looking for the overlaps, looking for the underlaps. They were just going to come at us. Gomez, which I think was a man of the match this game. I think when against Arsenal, he did a very good job. I think Milner, which I've also been very critical of, had probably the best game of the season. This game, I'm like, oh shit, he's marking Phil Foden, right? Even if you divide his age by half, I think he's still younger than Phil Foden.
Yeah, you just yeah.
So I mean, I was a bit scared to say the least. But I thought the back 5 defended, and I give Gomez the man of the match. For me, I thought that was. I mean, I know Van Dijk's saving header.
Against Haaland coming in, and
that was a goal stopper. Yeah, and even smirked Haaland because he knew it would have been a tap in for him, right?
Yeah.
But
which is 90% of his goals. No. Look, I remember at the beginning of the season, like I was like, I hope Haaland. Like, man, he's a gun. I can't say too much more about it. And like I know, like a lot of people, he scores a lot of tap-ins. I'm like, yeah, but you and I both know, in order to score tap-ins, you're off the ball and your reading of the game needs to be world class.
Yeah, but the plays around him.
Exactly.
I mean, like even Klopp said, if he had Nunez was playing for Man City, he'd probably be scoring more goals than he does at Liverpool. I mean, Klopp said that, right?
Yeah,
because,
that's right. Yeah.
I mean, they're the best team in the world right now, and so yeah, I thought we defended really well. I didn't feel like we had the intensity. I don't feel like we needed the intensity. This was probably one of the first games where Man City had it's weird watching Liverpool not have the ball most of the time, but that was. Yeah. I think that was planned. I think that was sort of
definitely.
And our back line was sensible. It wasn't high. It wasn't high. And I don't know whether that's a new tactic. I don't know. Or because James Milner was at right back, we didn't want to play too far forward and get caught out on the overload on the right hand side again.
Yeah.
But I thought Robbo. I actually thought Alisson's got more assists now than some of our midfielders.
Yeah. His delivery is incredible, isn't it? Like, really is. Let's give Alisson some good credit here. Like, his delivery from keeper's been unreal all year. So,
And just one thing on that, I didn't feel like anyone had a bad game. I thought we could talk about them individually. I don't know what time we're going to have, but
despite Nunez not squaring the ball to Salah, I thought he still, when he came on, he had a good game. You know, like he was down that flank. He was a big threat.
It was a massive
100%.
threat,
Huge threat.
And like I said, he's like, I think you said it, immaturity. That's it, and that will get. I think he's feeling the pressure. I feel like he's playing against Haaland. He wanted the news.
Yeah,
he should have just relaxed. Got his
relax.
assist, got his headline. He still would have got a headline. Wouldn't have been as
100%.
big, but
but
that him trying to hog it and trying to score was just a bit stupid. He done it twice, and that time he should. That was almost. I wouldn't say as bad as a red card.
God defended that first shot there. How they went wide. I mean, he should have shot that one.
You reckon? I don't think so.
I think so. I mean, he didn't. That's my opinion. I think like he could have gone wide, but he had three defenders in front of him, and only I think it might have been Carvalho. I can't remember. And I just thought, fuck it, why not have a shot? Just go for it. You're outside the box, you might be able to curl it in. Who knows? Probably worth it, But the second one was a definite, mate. That's where the maturity in the game comes. You like square the ball, It's
100%.
Again, like you said, it was, and again, like he's been in the press. Everyone's like, like I am actually like I feel sorry for him in a way because like he hasn't played as many minutes as. Look, I'm not trying to say that he'd score as many goals as Haaland if he played every game so far this season, right? But you look at the minutes he's played, hasn't played full games. I mean, he has, but he hasn't really played as many. He obviously missed 3 games as a red card.
I mean, the Uruguayan Andy Carroll deserves a rest. Okay, like he deserves a break.
he does. Like he's the Uruguayan Andy Carroll Nunez. Yeah.
I mean, I thought the goals he scored against Arsenal and Rangers were good goals. I thought the one against Rangers was a very good goal.
Oh, how calm and cool, collected was that finish? That was just like, meh. I'll just slot this home.
The game was won, but I felt like he still had to score. We had to score that third one, right? But
second and third, he took
it. He scored 2, Arsenal. I think it was Arsenal. Where
Arsenal game. Sorry, yeah. He scored against Arsenal. Yeah.
So I thought he didn't have much to prove this game. He just had to have a good game. That was all he had to do.
Yeah.
But I, like I said, the refereeing was
poor.
It was a bit.
Poor. Very poor. Like,
I like the idea of letting play go, but I mean, some of those decisions.
There's a fine line between letting play go and getting the players too riled up and causing more problems. Because if the players aren't feeling like they're getting the right decisions made, there's a fine line. Then they're going to get frustrated and they're going to lash out, and then there's going to be problems, and you're going to get problems in the stadium, and you're going to get all sorts of issues. So again, as much as the referee needs to let the ball go, he also needs to, as silly as it sounds, but this is the reality. He also needs to pull up those fouls every now and then, just to keep, the players from losing it out of frustration. Just like, I mean, Salah didn't, obviously he was extremely, you don't really see him react like that often. And look, he wasn't that bad. Like he didn't headbutt anyone like Nunez.
No, he normally just smiles all over the
field. And he
did.
In Bernardo's, what's her name?
I think it was Bernardo.
Came and pushed him, and he just put his hands up, and that's just again, maturity, like we spoke about in the earlier part of the season when Nunez got sent off.
When he pushed him, I wish he just fell over and just rolled around.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike behavior.
Yeah. Rivaldo in the World Cup 2002. Yeah.
I think I would give the assistant man of the match, Darren, to the 12th man. I thought the crowd was like, I mean, would have we won that game if it was in Manchester City? If it was at the Etihad?
I hope so. I mean, not that they'd have many fans in the stadium anyway.
Real fans.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Real fans. Okay. Here in Australia, we have, like I've mentioned in previous podcasts, you'll see more Manchester City shirts getting around in the last 10 years than I've ever in my whole entire life here. Manchester City. I didn't know any Manchester City fans growing up, never heard of it. Nah. Next thing you know, when they started winning, there's a City jersey. Oh, I see. There you go, bandwagoner, right?
We won't mention his last name, but our friend Jason.
Oh yeah,
Won't
it
we?
was,
Won't we?
yeah.
He was. I'm sure he was a Liverpool supporter.
He was 100%, and then I'm just thinking, just you can't.
And then
Yeah.
maybe we should send this.
I know it. Like I said,
he'll know who he is.
Like I said, you could ask. I reckon some of the men. Look, again, not all. I'll claim myself on saying that. I believe there's obviously legitimate Man City fans there, right? Ones that might remember Palo One Shop. I don't know.
Willow Flood. Willow
yeah,
Flood.
yeah, and ones that might remember their manager. I think it was. When they
had Hughes.
I can't remember. Was it Paul Jewell?
I think Paul Jewell was there. They had Mark Hughes.
Yeah. They had
during the takeover.
I'm even going back even before when they came up and they went back down and they came up. Like,
Did they have the guy from Sunderland? The manager.
The guy that got
Peter Reid. Peter Reid.
No, I think was it Paul Jewell. I can't. I'm just going to quickly look at it now.
Paul Jewell.
This is going back 20-something years ago now when they got promoted and they went back down straight away.
Paul Jewell was the Bradford manager, yeah.
Yeah, God, I can't remember his bloody name now. It's going back. Yeah, this is the corny. Like Man City manager 2001, right? So it was.
Stuart Pearce. That's
was it Stuart Pearce?
No, that was in 2005 to 2007.
Yeah. What's my phone? Yeah.
No.
Hang on. Sorry. No, it's all good.
I can edit. I believe I can
That's
mute,
right.
or you can mute your microphone if you wanted to.
Right. Joe Royal. It was Joe Royal. The manager, Joe Royal. Yeah. Like I mean, like I'm talking about like that era of the early 2000s Manchester City team, right? And
that was a bad team.
Yeah, but like you won't see many City fans here in Australia running around with a Palo One Shop shirt on from back in the day.
What about Georgie Kikladze? Was it Georgie Kikladze?
Yeah, like again, I'm bagging that out. I can't really remember, but again, it's not my team. I don't support them, so I don't have to remember their team names.
We can name players. We can name players for Liverpool in 2000, 2001.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Who was your favourite player from 2001? You can't say Gerrard.
Michael Owen. Yeah, Michael Owen, maybe.
Yeah, Michael Owen.
Yours was Emile Heskey, wasn't it?
No, I liked we used to give Emile Heskey.
Actually, you loved Danny Murphy back in the day when we were kids. I remember you were massive. And I did too. I loved Danny Murphy as a player. Like I remember we were gutted when he got sold. I think as Benitez came in and flogged him off.
Yeah.
But
it was
Didi Hamann, like.
But Darren, you got this one over me, man. I said Danny Murphy was better than Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, I do remember that. That's right. Yeah, we used to argue about that as kids. Yeah, God.
So, I lost that argument.
If you only had the foresight of the future, hey?
Well, that's it, mate. It's 2020, isn't it? But
Poor Danny Murphy. Murphy.
You think I know so much about football, but I thought Danny Murphy was better than Gerrard. So
actually, I'm gonna either Michael Owen or Sammy Hoopier. Loved Sammy Hoopier. I thought he was. I don't know. I just loved him. My old man loved him. My grandfather loved him. Yeah.
What was that guy that was really crap? Was it Dundee?
Oh, Sean Dundee.
Was it Sean?
Pretty sure it was.
Yeah. He was hopeless.
No. I remember my old man used to love it. Not sarcastically loved Eagle Bishcan. He used to call him shit can. Yeah, that's right.
That's actually pretty funny.
God, it's just talking about it. We've gone from favorite players to now flops, like freaking. Yeah. Then you got Bruno Shearu that came on. Remember him?
And Salav Jow was my favorite man.
Oh no! You know who El Hadji Diouf.
Oh, he's always fighting with Gerrard. He's always.
I am a king in my country. You are nothing. Like, shut up, mate. No one cares.
I mean, he thinks
king of an anthill, maybe. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like he's got like an inferior complex because he's always.
Of course.
He just feels like he bashes Gerrard. Gerrard doesn't respond to him, man. Like he doesn't.
Yeah, of course. It's obvious. You know, look at your career here. Oh yeah, but I'm a king in Senegal. Everyone loves me. Like, no one cares.
No,
You're not in Senegal.
the best African player we've had by far, I think. Well, obviously Salah, but
Yeah,
I think Mane. I love Mane, man.
yeah, man. So
He
do
was
I.
my favorite of the front three. Really, it was always.
Yeah. He was the one you could. Like I said, yeah, like we've said from day one, huge loss. Not the result of our misfortunes over the past few weeks, with irrespective of this game. He, but yeah, I loved Sadio Mane. He was, I was devastated when he left. To be honest, I was.
Do you know what I think? I think Diaz can be better.
Yeah,
I think Diaz can actually be better
oh,
than
he's
Mane.
100%.
And I
He's
think
like, he's still got. Diaz has still got. He's still
I
going to
love
get
watching
even
him too,
better.
man.
Oh
Yeah,
man, yeah. So do
I love
I.
watching
Yeah.
it. I mean, I feel like we've been let down in the midfield, but I think I think if you had like a Wijnaldum in midfield back in, we score more goals. But I don't know, man. Like, to me, something about Diaz, he's got that South American. When he did that first touch, when he like his left leg,
Just that flair, just that
and the people,
something that only South Americans have.
Yeah, they dance with the ball, man.
Yeah,
and the crowd behind them. You should see. I don't know if you've seen these people behind Diaz as he. They're just like.
Yeah, I know.
He's just like, people just love watching him, man. Like, he's mesmerizing.
Oh,
and I think he's got the potential to be actually genuinely world class. I think. I think their recruitment. I mean, people talking about Liverpool recruitment this year. Klopp. This is our last segment, Darren. Klopp came out and said there's only 3 teams that have no ceilings, but Liverpool has which is obvious, has a ceiling. Do you think? You know where I stand. Do you think Liverpool should try to get an owner that doesn't have a financial ceiling? Because we've got a manager that I believe is potentially 1 in 100 years manager that we've got, right? And I don't feel like we can't keep spending unless we only spend what we make. It's only the net spend. Do you think we should, if it's flicking of a coin, right? It's Russian roulette in some ways. But do you think if we would get FSG out to try to get an owner that wouldn't have a financial ceiling, would you take another owner now if they didn't have any financial ceiling?
Yes.
Yeah,
I would. Look,
I'd love to ask the Liverpool fans in America, in England as well.
Yeah,
I'm very curious.
Look, I think let's face it. Like, FSG have probably, from a business perspective, have turned Liverpool extremely profitable, right? Lifted them up and that, but again, there hasn't been, like we said from day one, there's been barely any reinvestment back in the squad once we've lost key players. Even like you said, since we've lost Wijnaldum and stuff like that. So if say hypothetically FSG were out and some a owner came in and said, yeah, no, look, I want to yeah, you would, because we need it. Like, you talk about these Manchester United fans earlier on, and they're gone quiet about it now because they're winning games, because that's just what they do. They have short memories about certain things. They were talking about the Glazers out like a month ago, right? And they haven't heard of people since. The Glazers out, they've spent the most. Oh, but they only spend, would they, mate? No, mate. They've spent $1 billion on players. They've got every player they've ever wanted, every manager. They keep Louis, like they even get Louis Van, like they keep on going. They just burn through managers like underpants. Like, oh yeah, no good. It's just, there's obviously some, like, again. So if Liverpool had like owned, I'm not saying the Glazers, but if you had owners that had that mentality of like spending money and reinvesting in the squad, because at the end of the day, that's your moneymaker. Is the team that's going to be winning trophies and bringing in cash. If you're not reinvesting in the squad, then that's going to, okay. And again, who knows what their end goal is? FSG, maybe their idea is to just turn it into a profitable business, sell it and then make bank. I don't know. I mean, that's who knows. That's which is a business tactic at the end of the day, is keep your expenditure low and keep your income coming in. So who bloody knows what they're going to do? Maybe that's it. I've got no idea. But yeah, answer to that question, yes, 100%. I would, right? But I don't know who. I've got no idea about the business side of football. I don't have any idea about football in general, some people would say. But no, but yeah, I definitely think we need owners who are willing to reinvest, who need to invest in the squad, 100%. This year has been a perfect example of that. You know? Why can't, like we said, you've said it from, why can't Liverpool go and get those players? We can, but again, we've got the financial ceiling. So anyway, what do you think, though? What's your opinion on that?
I wanted it. I've been wanting FSG out before we got Klopp. And I mean, obviously, I mean, there were obviously an improvement. I think I've said this many times. There was an improvement on the Hicks, George Gillette, and
100%. And let us not have a short memory of that either. That was a horrendous time, right?
that was
thank God FSG aren't like that. Again, like I said, look, I'll give them credit. They've run a smooth. They've run the business great, right? From a business perspective,
they have.
I can't fault them on that, right? And so,
but the problem is maybe the financial.
Maybe after all these years, maybe they need to be like, righto.
Maybe they're priced out. They don't want to spend it. They've got it. They're billionaires.
100% they've got it.
And how much money do you think we'll need? See, here's a question that I asked. Like, I think the money that we need to be successful, they've got it. I think that's what annoys me the most. Now, it's their money. You can't tell someone how to. So for me, it's like, well, if you don't want to spend it, what do you do what's good for the club? Now, it's obviously not easy to find buyers for a company the size of Liverpool, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not just, and then who can actually buy our club? A company that a lot of fans have criticised, the same type of consortium that have bought Newcastle United, who've got terrible human rights, that the country's messed up, and then we'd say they're going to be one of them, or it's going to be an American group generally. I mean, it could be an English investor, but really,
how many people have that kind of money these days? Like, what? I mean, they're probably
from Europe. There are, but there's not many, right? No. There's more from the Middle East. So it's like that. If you can find, that's the problem. Like, if you could ideally find someone with decent human rights that don't treat people like cattle, then I feel like you could definitely, bring someone in from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, because obviously they're going to have the money. What I do like about them is they know they're not football people. So they just be like, here's money, we'll hire the best, and you guys run it. Because we know we don't know football. I feel like FSG think they know football, and I think they're more involved because who's been successful, FSG or Jurgen Klopp and the team that he's appointed?
Jurgen Klopp.
I mean, they could say, we hired him. Okay, he did.
Yeah,
he did hire him.
It could be a joint effort, really. Could be, let's maybe successful as a unit, right? So.
But I think I don't think they ever really hired Jurgen Klopp thinking he was going to achieve what he was going to achieve. I think that's bullshit. But I would say that, I would say even if they were good owners for the last 5 years, I think they're getting financially pushed out. If you're not willing to spend it, then you should go. And it doesn't have to be in the next 6 months, but have a plan to get out, because it's not just you're going to like get out and like tomorrow. No, it's not like someone's buying your car, right? They're buying $1 billion company,
that's right? Exactly. And there's obviously a transition period that'll take months, for things to get finalized.
You got transfer embargoes. You can't buy players in the middle of a negotiation and things like that, because then you got like pricing of the company and whatnot, the equity of the company. So, but I feel like if they're not willing to spend, that's my opinion. And how much do you think we need? Probably 500 million.
Yeah, I was going to say half a billion. Yeah.
I mean, the problem is now the market is ridiculous. Look, I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't like it. I don't like how football's become. But the point is, what can we do, Darren?
Not much we can do.
We need to invest. And Klopp said there's 3 clubs in the world that have ceilings. They don't have ceilings, but we're not one of them. And I feel like Liverpool doesn't necessarily need to be a club with, like he said, Newcastle United, no ceiling. Basically, Manchester City, no ceiling. And Paris Saint-Germain, no ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone else have basically spend what they generally, I mean, they're borrowing a lot of money, like Barcelona, which they've fallen into. they went into they got financial issues trying to pay Messi's wages as soon as they sold Messi.
There we go. And not one of those clubs has won the Champions League, or maybe PSG has in a while. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah.
Didn't Barcelona win the? Didn't Barcelona?
Oh, you said Barcelona or PSG? Sorry, maybe PSG.
No. PSG hasn't won the.
PSG hasn't won one, but yeah, Barcelona certainly have. But yeah, City and Newcastle, those three guys who don't have a seat. Haven't won. Yeah, that's what
haven't won. But so for me, it's like we need to. We need a. I mean, look, Jude Bellingham. I don't know whether we need him or we don't. But the point is, if it was Manchester City, they would go out and buy Jude Bellingham. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't wait till next season. No, they wouldn't be bringing in Arthur Melo on loan, who I don't even know.
Who gets injured anyway? How's this? They go out. You go out and loan a player to fix our injury issues in midfield. So we get a loaned player who has injury issues, comes to Liverpool, gets injured, and isn't back until his loan expires in January. Is he going to play? Do you reckon you'll ever see him wear a Liverpool shirt?
I don't know, man. Like he came on for like 5 minutes, and it's just FSG bargain bin buys, mate. You know,
mate. Like
the reject shop.
As if mate. That's see right then and there. That's a huge sign straight to the FSG. You know, the owners like, come on, you've tried to bargain bin it, and you've ended up, you know.
And like I said, you got to get rid of Keita. You got to get rid of Oxlade-Chamberlain. I mean, Milner. Mm-hmm. There's 3 midfielders that are gone, guaranteed, at the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, you knew that was going to happen. I mean, you knew Keita. Keita, what's happening to him? His mind doesn't. He doesn't want to play for the club anymore, I think. I don't know. I actually don't know what happened to him. So, I mean, how can you not? I don't get it. And this is what really. I mean, if Klopp has not got the support he deserves. I mean, he wanted that. I think he wanted that Tuchel. I can never say his name. That French guy in midfield. He wanted him. Didn't get him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was Manchester, if he was the manager of Manchester City, he'd be like, "Who do you want?" At the amount he's achieved, the owner of Manchester City would have just said, "Who do you want, mate? You want? We'll go and get Messi for you."
Like, come on, mate. This is your. Yeah, you just tell us who to get, and we'll go and get him. You know,
it's not about the money anymore because you know this guy's going to bring you success. And he's not getting that support. And he gets asked dumb questions in the media. And it's obvious. The club doesn't spend money. He can't say it because it's these bosses. But the point is we're not taking it. I still will never feel like Liverpool took advantage of this time. Because you can remember 2000, Darren. You can remember 2001 and 2002 and 2000. Well, I remember pretty much even 90, 98, 99. But
yeah, 100%.
Right? But forget that time.
The dark days.
The 2003, how horrible was watching Liverpool in 2003 in Manchester United's shadow. I mean, we used to chase
from the Roy Evans era to Gerard Houllier to Rafa Benitez, you know, a little resurgence under Kenny Dalglish, and then Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that ball bugger. I felt, he just
that was actually pretty hilarious.
Good old he's got RSL nose.
Boy.
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 And then we've been and again Houllier was good to start off with, and Rafa was good to start off with, and then this shit just fell apart. You know,
and Brendan Rodgers got a bit lucky, I think, with Suarez and.
Sorry, I forgot to mention good old Brendel being in there. Why did I forget?
Yeah, that? Brendan, I think
he did well for us. Brendan, I mean, should have won the title that year when we bottled it, when we were 5 points clear of City with 3 games to go, or 4 games to go.
But Darren, even when I look at Leicester City, he's got the same problems he had at Liverpool. He doesn't know how to set up tactics to defend set pieces. We always used to concede goals from defensive set pieces and from corners. Like, we could never seem to defend corners under Brendan Rodgers. And it's the same thing I'm looking over at Leicester City. He's not a very good coach defensively. And that's why we didn't win the Premier League, did we? I mean, at the end of the day, we lost because of the Premier League. Anyway, guys, Daz, any final thoughts about West Ham? What's your match predictions? I got to run.
That's going to be a tough game. We're going to run out. We're going to run out winners, right?
Great.
We've
That's what I want to
propelled
hear.
ourselves. We've we got off to we've played the last even the Cleveland Championship. We played well. I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory. Darwin Nunes to score, and Salah to score.
Oh, you said 2-1. I'll go 2-0.
Yes,
I don't think they're going to score. If we defend like we did against City, they're not scoring.
no
At home too. I think.
at the
I think
Anne Boleyn Arena.
Yeah, I can see Salah and.
So are we away against West Ham, or are we?
No, I think we're at Anfield.
We're at Anfield.
So,
Okay, righto. Yeah.
I mean, Declan Rice, which I think we're linked to, Jordan Henderson, the new Jordan Henderson. That's what we need. Another Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, we need a new something else. Again, I love Hendo. I mean, I just saying we need a fresh breed of something else. Yeah.
Just that, yeah. Anyway, I would say 2-0. Hopefully the same team starts, just the exact same team. I don't know whether we push because Milner can't play 3 days again, right? So I think Trent will probably come back in for Milner.
Yeah.
I just think that Klopp can't. We just can't do that high line anymore. Just keep it as it was, man. It was perfect defensively. Just don't touch it. Just
leave it. Don't touch it. Yeah.
Just leave it.
just.
Cool.
All right, hectic.
If it wins, don't touch it, mate.
That's it.
All right, 2-0,
guys.
2-1.
Cheerio. Have a good one. We'll see you
later, guys.
Bye.
Hang on, we're not off yet.